ever get this feeling?
Like the universe is trying to tell us a story?
But we're mid...
Like half the pages.
Yeah.
Well, get ready to find some of those missing pages.
Because today's deep dive takes us straight into...
Dear Anurag, Sagar von Kabir, Ocean of Love.
We're talking ancient wisdom, cosmic drama.
The whole works.
It is a creation myth, yes.
But told through this just incredible tapestry of symbolism and metaphor.
Kabir, the poet behind this text, wasn't interested in some kind of literal explanation
of the universe.
He wanted to capture the essence of creation.
Its spiritual heart.
And trust me, this is not your average
let there be light kind of story.
We're talking surprising characters.
Unexpected twists.
The whole shebang.
But before we get swept away by the narrative,
let's set the stage.
I'm already intrigued by this title.
Ocean of Love.
What is that all about?
That right there, that's Kabir.
Pointing us to the main idea.
This ocean of love, it represents the boundless,
the all-encompassing nature
of ultimate reality.
In many traditions, this reality is personified as this being
of pure consciousness.
Pure bliss.
Okay, so we're not talking about a literal ocean here.
More like a state of pure being.
Pure love.
That's the source of everything.
Exactly.
And in Der Anurag Sagar,
this ultimate source, this ocean of love, is given a name. Sat Purush.
Now imagine Sat Purush.
Residing in a realm called Satkand.
To Satkand.
That sounds
mystical already.
What is it like?
Think of it like this.
Imagine a place beyond the universe.
As we know it.
A place beyond time and space.
Where only pure consciousness exists.
That's Satkand.
The realm of Sat Purush.
If you're familiar with the concept of nirvana in Buddhism,
it shares some similarities.
The state of complete liberation.
Pure bliss.
The ultimate goal.
So we've got this ultimate reality, Sat Purush.
Hanging out in Satkand.
Pure bliss, the whole deal.
But if Sat Purush is all that is...
where does the actual universe...
like the one with stars and planets?
Come in?
Great question.
You see?
In this story, Sat Purush doesn't directly create the physical universe.
He entrusts that task to another...
really powerful being.
Dharam Rai.
Who's also known as Kal Niranjan.
Okay.
So we're adding another player to the cosmic game board.
But why not just create it himself?
Why delegate?
Well, that gets to the heart
of Kabir's message.
About the nature of creation.
And the soul's journey.
Think of it like this. Dharam Rai represents this aspect of creation that's
a little bit clueless at first.
A little unsure of how to proceed.
So he's like the cosmic newbie.
Who's been given this massive responsibility, but no instruction manual.
I can relate to that feeling.
Exactly.
And like anyone in that position, Dharam Rai turns to the expert.
To Sat Purush for guidance.
And here's where Kabir introduces this really crucial concept. Dharam Rai can't just demand knowledge.
He needs to earn it.
Through seva.
Seva?
That's ringing a bell.
It's like selfless service, right?
Yes.
It's the idea that through selfless action,
through dedicating ourselves to something greater than ourselves,
we open ourselves up to receiving divine grace and knowledge.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
What if the key to unlocking the mysteries of the universe
isn't about accumulating knowledge,
but about how we serve?
How we act in the world. That's the beauty of these ancient stories.
They're packed with layers of meaning.
And this concept of seva is going to play a vital role
as Dharam Rai's journey unfolds.
So Dharam Rai, our cosmic newbie,
needs to learn about seva if he wants to.
Unlock the secrets of creation.
It does feel like there's a lesson in there for all of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how does this actually play out?
Does Dharam Rai start volunteering at a cosmic soup kitchen or something?
Well, not exactly.
Remember Sahaj?
The divine messenger we mentioned earlier?
Yeah.
He steps in to guide Dharam Rai
on this path of seva.
And that guidance leads them to a pretty fascinating character.
Kurma.
Kurma.
Now that name is familiar.
It's the Sanskrit word for tortoise, right?
That's right.
But something tells me this isn't just your average
garden variety turtle.
You're right about that.
Kurma in this story is the embodiment
of the universe
in its primordial state.
Imagine this vast ocean
of pure potential.
Everything waiting to be born.
All coiled up in this image of the tortoise.
Okay.
I'm getting that sense of ancient wisdom.
Those layers of meaning you mentioned.
So how does a tortoise
represent the universe?
Kabir describes Kurma
as having these 12 distinct units,
each one representing a fundamental aspect of creation.
Think of it like a cosmic blueprint.
Okay.
You've got units symbolizing the 5 elements:
earth, water, fire, air,
and ether.
Then you've got units representing the senses:
Sight, smell, taste, touch, and sound.
And then there are units representing even more abstract concepts.
Like time and karma.
Wow.
So each part of karma is like a piece of the universe.
Waiting to be activated.
Exactly.
But here's where things take.
An interesting turn.
Despite being face-to-face with the embodiment of creation.
Dharam Rai still doesn't receive explicit instructions
On how to proceed.
There's this sense of waiting.
Of needing to understand through observation.
And more importantly,
through seva.
I'm guessing Dharam Rai.
Being a bit of a cosmic newbie.
Isn't the most patient fellow?
You got it.
This is where Cal,
representing the negative
or destructive force
within creation,
steps in.
He's impatient.
And deliberate
pace of things.
He wants to see results.
And he wants them now.
So
attacks karma.
Wait, hold on.
He attacks the universe in the form of a giant tortoise.
Talk about your cosmic temper tantrum.
It's a powerful image, isn't it?
And it speaks to this idea that's echoed throughout mythology.
The idea that creation often arises
from destruction.
Think about it.
The Big Bang.
The churning of the primordial ocean.
Even the clearing of land for new growth.
These are all acts of destruction.
That paved the way.
For something new to emerge.
Okay.
I'm seeing the parallels.
That makes a lot of sense.
But what happens to karma?
Does he just, explode into a universe?
What Gobir describes it as the earth.
The sky, the sun, the moon, the stars.
All bursting forth.
From this act of violence.
Against karma.
Almost paradoxical moment.
Where destruction births creation.
Here's the thing.
Karma doesn't disappear entirely.
He survives.
Whoa, hold on.
So we've got a wounded...
partially explode...
universe tortoise.
Just hanging out.
This is where I need your expert narration skills to walk me through this. Okay, so imagine this.
Karma, despite the attack,
manages to give birth to a son.
Also named Karma.
Another Karma.
This son represents a pure form of existence.
Residing in a spiritual realm called I.
Think of it like this.
The original Karma
embodies the physical universe.
The one we experience with our senses.
His son, Karma,
represents the subtle spiritual counterpart.
The blueprint upon which the physical is based.
So 2 Karmas.
2 levels of reality, got it.
This is getting seriously multi-layered.
But what about life itself?
Where do living beings come into this whole cosmic equation?
That's where things get really interesting.
You see, alongside the birth of Karma's son,
there's this other significant event.
Something called the Kaim emerges.
The Kaim.
This Kaim.
Later referred to as the Stam Saman, or soul seed.
Represents the potential for life.
For consciousness.
To take root in this newly formed universe.
Okay, so we've got the raw materials of the universe.
The stars, the planets, the elements.
All from the original Karma.
We've got the spiritual blueprint.
From Karma's son.
And now, with this Kaim, or soul seed.
You have the potential for life itself.
But where does this Kaim come from?
That's the key point.
It's Kaim.
This spark of life.
It doesn't originate from Dharam Rai.
It's a direct emanation.
From Sat Purush.
A gift from the ultimate source.
Okay.
So even though Dharam Rai is tasked with creation,
the true essence of life
the soul,
comes directly from that ocean of love.
From Sat Purush.
It feels like Kabir is saying that even in the midst of all this,
cosmic drama,
that connection to the source is always there.
Exactly.
And it's this connection that Dharam Rai,
despite witnessing the creation of the physical world,
still yearns to understand.
He's witnessed the how,
the mechanics of it all.
But he's still searching for the why.
The deeper meaning behind it all.
So we've got this universe, stars are shining, planets are forming.
But it's still missing that.
Like essential something.
That spark of life.
Right.
And poor Dharam Rai.
He's witnessed this whole cosmic fireworks show.
But he's still yearning for that.
Deeper understanding.
Yeah.
It's like he's baked this amazing cake.
But doesn't know what to do with the frosting.
And that enters the scene.
Okay.
She's not just another character.
She's pivotal.
Imagine her as the embodiment of the feminine principle.
The creative force that brings life itself into being.
Okay, so if Karma represents the universe's, potential.
Adhya is the one who takes that potential and says, let's make some magic happen.
Precisely.
And remember that Kaim?
That soul seed we talked about.
Yeah.
Well, Sat Purush gifts this Kaim to Adhya.
But here's where Kabir takes us even deeper.
He doesn't depict this as a one-time event.
But rather as the beginning of a cycle.
Wait a minute.
Are we talking about reincarnation here?
In the creation story itself.
You caught that.
This cyclical connection between the Kaim and Adhya.
Hints at the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth.
A concept that resonates across so many cultures and spiritual traditions.
It's like Kabir is weaving the very fabric of existence
Into his creation story.
This is blowing my mind.
We're going from the Big Bang to reincarnation.
All in one deep dive.
Kabir was playing on a whole other level.
He truly was. And to really drive home the point
of this connection to the divine source.
Sat Purush uses this.
Really beautiful analogy.
He says that the jiva, the individual soul,
is like a drop of water.
That's been separated from the ocean.
And that ocean.
That's Sat Purush himself.
So we're all just these little drops.
Wandering around.
Trying to find our way back to that.
Vast ocean of pure being.
It's both beautiful and kind of daunting at the same time.
It is.
And it's this yearning.
This deep-seated desire for reunion with the source.
That fuels our journey.
Okay, so we have Abha.
She's got the Kaim.
She's part of this eternal cycle.
But she's also got
a pretty big job to do.
Does she get any cosmic help?
With this whole
breathing life into the universe gig?
She does.
Sat Purush grants Adya 3 blessings.
To support her in this grand task.
And the first blessing is a fascinating one.
An eternal hunger.
An insatiable appetite.
An internal hunger.
That doesn't sound like a blessing.
That sounds like my Friday night after a long week.
It's not about physical hunger, of course.
It's a metaphor for the soul's unending desire.
For union with the divine.
Think of it as this driving force
that propels us towards enlightenment.
Towards merging back into that ocean of love.
So it's like this constant reminder
that there's something more.
Something beyond our everyday experience.
That we're always striving, always reaching.
For something greater than ourselves.
Exactly.
It's what keeps us moving, evolving.
On this incredible journey.
This has been incredible.
We've gone from the birth of the universe.
Met a giant tortoise.
Explored the concept of reincarnation.
And discovered this beautiful idea.
Of an eternal hunger for something more.
It's a powerful reminder.
That creation isn't just some event.
That happened billions of years ago.
It's an ongoing process.
And we're all
active participants.
In this cosmic dance.
So as we wrap up our deep dive.
Into Der Anurag Sagar.
Here's something to ponder.
If we are all like those drops of water.
Yearning for that reunion with the ocean of Sat Purush.
What choices can we make?
What actions can we take?
To navigate our way back to that source.